Arrest gone wrong, and it's costing taxpayers.
What you are about to see is disturbing. In a 41 Action News exclusive, investigator Jessica McMaster exposes how the Kansas City Police Department has spent millions of dollars settling excessive force cases.
What's the cost?
These officers, I don't think, are sufficiently trained.
When an arrest goes too far.
I didn't do nothing.
After exposing case after case
Break it off.
of excessive force lawsuits settled out of court, the 41 Action News investigators wanted to know how often arrests go wrong in our city and how much money it's costing you.
Absolutely, we take it seriously.
We spent months analyzing court records. These documents that span the past 5 years show the Kansas City Police Department has paid out $5.9 million because of arrests like this one.
You're not only going to get a flipping from us, but you're getting it from him.
This dash cam video stems from a 2014 arrest. It shows an officer throwing punches and threats being made at an armed robbery suspect who's already in handcuffs.
You don't open your mouth. You understand? Otherwise, you are going to the hospital.
All three of these men have or are serving time in prison for things like robbery, fleeing police, and resisting arrest. And these criminals are all now thousands of dollars richer because of how their arrests were handled.
Punch after punch after punch. All three suspects were taken to jail with some cuts and bruises, but ultimately wound up with about $700,000 in their pockets.
My client was shot when he should not have been shot.
But in some cases, the results were catastrophic. Attorney David Smith tells us in his client's case, Kansas City Police got it wrong from the very beginning.
My client was in a car that had been loaned to him, and the police had been tipped off erroneously that he had carjacked the car at gunpoint.
While the dash cam video from that night is silent, it shows officers looking at the car with their flashlights. But Smith says the windows were tinted and police couldn't see his client in the car. Moments later, as his client starts to leave.
Within 6 seconds, they started firing their weapon.
Had they given any demands?
They had given no demands.
This was the result.
He was shot at 26 times. I believe he was hit 21 times.
This police report shows one officer stated he saw Smith's client reach into the center console, then heard gunshots.
And we know that's not true because they could not even see through the windows.
A gun was never found. Smith's client was never charged in this incident. He's now paralyzed. His compensation, the largest payout for that 5-year period, $4.8 million.
There is no amount of money that will bring back your legs and the function of your body.
We really strive to do the right things on this job.
Newly appointed Police Chief Rick Smith agreed to sit down with us.
Does the department have a problem when it comes to the use of force?
Individually, when you look at certain instances, as pointed out by these cases, I mean, someone has deemed there's a problem, a court, somebody. Do we look at it as an institutional problem on this department? No, I don't see that.
Chief Smith says he could not discuss individual cases, but that his officers are well trained.
There's, probably 1 million or more contacts with the public during that period of time, and these are the 4 or 5 instances where someone has deemed it, there was a problem.
Chief Smith tells us he takes each case seriously, that there's already built-in oversight, like having 2 officers respond to almost every call. Still, no matter the amount of training the officers receive, he says there are some things officers can't always prepare for.
We have to bring calm where there's all kinds of chaos going on. So when you do that, things are going to happen.
As for the nearly $6 million spent on cases like these.
Obviously, would we like that to be zero? Absolutely. Will we strive for that to be zero in the next 5 years? Absolutely.
Now, we do want to point out all of the officers seen throwing punches in these videos are no longer with the department. 2 were even charged, one with assault and the other with harassment. I'm investigator Jessica McMaster, 41 Action News.
You can find the full dash cam video of some of those arrests we showed you online at kshb.com/investigators. We also take a deeper look at each individual case.